YouTube lovers, welcome back to your girl's channel, Shayla's Journey to Success. I thank you all so much for tapping on this video. Obviously the title must have drew you in, or you just saw my lovely face. Either way, I'm so grateful to have you here in this space with me, and we're gonna jump right into it. Today's video is all about how to warm up the wrist. Yeah, the simple joints that we don't really take care of, bones and joints in these little areas that we call wrists. Whether you are a yogi like myself, you've been on the channel before, or you are new and you know that you've been having some difficulties, whether it's yoga, any exercise, or maybe you work from home or at a computer desktop that you just know you are putting a lot of work on those wrists. Whatever it may be, you've come to the right channel today, and I'm so excited to give you 5 little exercises that are simple, you can do anywhere, and accessible for you to take care of those wrists so that you can have a little bit longer with them and have a lot more productivity. And let's get to it. Yay! All right, so the first exercise is what we're going to call flick fingers. All right, so if you want to, you can stay in any asana or pose that you would like to. You can be crisscross applesauce, an easy pose, or if you're at work or at home at your desk, definitely stay in your chair. If you want to get grounded on a mat like I am, you're more than welcome to do so. There's no props, no equipment that you need. But in order to get started, just find yourself in a comfortable position. So if the camera allows my body to be in view, yes, I will come from the side view so that you can see more of the angles that you would like to focus on. And it's simply going to have your arms in front of you, or you can have them facing out. You're going to start with your hands open, and if you want to, make sure you can see me. Hands can be open, and you just bend them. Flex them, flex, there you go. And you're just gonna do this 10 to 20 times. Noticing, you may notice some pops, some kinks. If you need a break, obviously you can rest down. But it sounds easy, but it's something we don't do often with our wrists and our fingers. So take your time, fan them out like a star, give a wiggle, and when you're ready, do it again. So you can take increments of 5, whatever you need to, just to get you to 10 or to 20, and just breathe through it. You can even do this while you're watching your show, your favorite series, and just focus on getting that stretch and that flex for those fingers. You'll feel those muscles and those wrists get a little bit of a tightness, but that's okay because you're utilizing them more than you normally would. Inhaling and exhaling. When you're ready, just relax them down. Simple as that. All right, so just get a little bit of stretch, moving it around. I'm going to come back from this angle, and this next one that we're going into is going to be for your wrists for sure, to get a little bit of flexion and extension. So I know you've seen it before, you've probably done it before just unintentionally, but the second one is wrist flexion and extension. So with that, let's start with our right arm out. We're going to start with the hand pointing out, facing so that the inner palm is facing outwards. And you're going to take your left one and you're going to bring those fingers of the right hand towards you, just getting the flex, noticing the curve of my wrist, planting and flexing. So when you're going up, then you go down. You can do this at the same time, but if you want to do one at a time, next we'll go on to the left, sending that left hand out, those right fingers pull the left fingers back towards us, flexing either hand and wrist, planting. You normally don't need help with this, but if you want to get a little more of a pressure pulling it towards you, you can come from underneath and draw them towards you. Again, taking your time, shaking it loose, inhaling, exhaling, starting again, putting that right arm up and pulling those fingers towards you. And just breathe through. And of course, when we do to one side, I still want to do to the other. So one last time together for the video's sake. Inhaling the left hand up and bringing the right hand palm to bring those left fingers towards you. Feeling that stretch and that strain along the bottom half of your wrist. It's okay. It's what you want. Slight bend in the elbow, not to lock it out. And breathe. Inhaling And if you want, exhale, plant it towards you and draw it in. Shake it out and relax. So you can stay in what we call our, staying in like a thunderbolt position, or you can come back down, maybe not putting pressure on your ankles and your knees. Again, if you're in the chair, simply stay where you are. Turn that computer off or keep your show going, whichever you want, but no work, just exercise, okay? This takes less than 5 minutes or however long you would like it to be. So the next one we're going to go into is going to be wrist circles. You're familiar with those. So with that, you can just bend on the elbows and you can just start. They can go in the same direction or opposites or all around. Whatever direction you wanted to do it in is absolutely fine. And this one, of course, you can do at the same time. If you have the motor skills still, obviously. If not, and you feel maybe this side is a little bit weaker or stronger, just start with one. Alternating it. Breathing through it. Send that breath into that area you're trying to get that stretch for, which would be the wrist today. And breathe. Make them intentional circles. Make sure you have your water nearby and handy just to stay hydrated. You're not doing a lot. You're not exerting a lot of effort and energy. Then both again. But just stay hydrated. That gets the movement of the joints and that fluid within inside of it, giving it a little bit more room to move. Inhaling. Exhaling. Slowly release. Shake it loose. All right, great. Now, the next one, we will be going back on all fours. So I'm just going to be pointing the same direction. So guide yourself, rounding those ankles underneath you. If you need to add another mat or a pillow or a blanket underneath the knees, do so now just to protect your knees for a little bit of comfort. Today, we're only focusing on the wrists, so it doesn't need to see my toes. My toes are flat. The tops of them are touching the mat, so pat them away. When you're ready, you're going to get into your all four foundation. If you've been with me before, awesome. If not, and this is your first time into yoga or with me in general, where our foundation is going to start with all fours like a little puppy or a cat. Your wrists, you want to keep right underneath those shoulders to get a straight line there. Slight bend in the elbow for safety, not to lock out. And those knees will be hip width apart, creating space between them. You don't want them stacked to be touching one another. You want to have space. Those knees right underneath the hip. Flat tabletop back, and see if I could come over there and put a coffee cup on it. All right, when you're ready, get in that foundation. You're going to be in tabletop position. You're going to put your fingers out, fanning them apart as if they're suctioning onto your mat for stability and support. And when you're ready, you're going to inhale. Shift your weight over your wrist this time. Breathe here. Exhaling. Draw yourself back into your foundation of all fours, okay? Simple as that. This is going to be sending the weight over the wrist, so be very gentle. No matter the size, you can only feel how that feels on your body. So make sure you're not overdoing it and causing too much pain in those wrists. Any sensation arise, simply back out of it. When you're ready, inhaling. Begin to shift forward over your wrist, getting the stretch in the front of them. Exhale back. Take your time with this as you don't want to hurt any of those small tendons inside of those wrists. And breathe into it and relax out of it. So we're just going to do 3 more together. Just like that. Inhaling. Your eyes can be open, focusing on something not moving. Or like me, I like to come and close my eyes to breathe. And you're just coming back right over those wrists. Inhaling, one last breath together. Exhale, release. You can come sitting back into your hero's pose and then shake it loose, letting go off of those wrists. We have one last one to complete our 5 exercises for the wrist. So definitely take whatever movements you need. If you need to hydrate, if you just need to take a break and maybe you want to do it again a little bit longer, pause the video, jump in however long you want, or pause it and come back to it when you have more time. Whatever works for you. For the last one, we're going right back into our all fours. So now that you know your groove, you know your foundation, gently come onto your knees and your hands. Spread those fingers apart and make sure you have your foundation. But this time we're going to do a little opposite. Turn your wrists inward towards you. It may look kind of funky because we're not always doing that, of course. If you are wearing a watch like myself, I tend to move it up so I'm not pressing into it with any of the knobs of my smartwatch. And breathe here. So notice where you are. Of course, it won't be perfect right underneath the shoulders, but you still want to have that foundation. When you inhale, your fingertips will still continue to face towards the knees, and you're going to inhale, shift back towards your heels. Come back, exhale. So as you notice from my figure, my body, and then maybe for you as well, you may not be able to go back as far as you think you can because you'll start to feel that pull on the inner side of your wrist. Be careful. If you at any point need to add any blocks or pillows or any extra layer just from the mat or the floor, make sure you have something cushioning your hands and wrists. Take your time, readjust into it. We're just going to do 2 more just like this. So make it 3 total. Inhaling, shift back towards heels. Exhale out. 1 more, big breath. Exhale out. So these are some of the few little tips that you can do to help if you feel any sensation of your wrist, maybe when you're working out, maybe when you're sitting at the computer a lot throughout the day, throughout your week, and you're just noticing, okay, these feel a little tight. I need to get a little bit more range of motion. So those are just some simply range of motion exercises, little tidbits that you can add to your daily lifestyle, your exercise regimen, and just continuously opening and creating space to those smaller areas. Same thing with the wrist, or excuse me, the ankles. That'll be another video coming soon. But I just wanted to do a tad bit for you to just let you know that that part is important. I haven't forgot about those smaller areas and joints of the body. And I wanted to share with you 5 of those exercises that I think would definitely keep you a little bit more free and flexible, create that space. I already can tell that they're waking back up. We put a lot of our body weight on ourselves as well as typing, so that angle of the keyboard, even if you have those nice professional updated keyboards and mouse pads and mouses to use, you may have the ball, but at the end of the day, it still takes some time for self-care to help you keep that range of motion consistent and fluent, so that you continue to be the best version of yourself as you move forward in whatever scenario it may be, whether it be on the mat, whether it be at the gym, whether it be at the computer at home or in the workplace. Whatever it may be, I really truly hope these 5 tips and exercises help you feel a little bit better, give you something to utilize and practice while you are doing what you do best on a normal basis. So with that being said, I thank you so much again for jumping on here and checking out a few tips from Shayla P and Shayla's Journey to Success. I hope you come back and visit me. If you're not a part of the Royalty family, I definitely would love for you to hit the like button if you did enjoy what you got to enjoy with me, as well as leave a comment if you have any other tips you'd like to add or share, and definitely hit that subscribe button below so that you can stay a part of Team Success, the Royalty family with Shayla P. If you're my regulars, I love you all, and thank you so much for jumping back on here with your girl. Until next time, love, light, and peace your way. Namaste and amen. Mwah! Bye.